What's up, everybody? Christian James here. Today's video, immigration is out of control. Let's go. In Canada, immigration is being overran. In the States, immigration is being overran because you don't have a door put on the southern part of the country, and now people are flying to the north, my half, and walking down to America. If you live in the UK, you're being overwhelmed by immigration. If you live in France, you've already been overwhelmed by immigration. It seems like there's this large push in Western or white nations where they want to just overwhelm all of us with people from other places. Now, the Walmart by my house is the best example that I have. It's a kilometer from my house, so I don't know, about half a mile from my house. In the 6-7 years I've moved here, it went from diverse to India. I'm not lying. It's not racist if I'm telling the truth. We're being overran by immigrants, and in Canada, they're only going to one of two provinces, Ontario and Quebec. Ontario's already overloaded. We have like 45% of the population before all the new immigrants came in. So to see how much this is costing and how bad it really is, we're going to watch Rebel News do a report from Quebec. Let's go.
In the past, Canada's geography, especially our harsh winters, protected us naturally. But in recent years, there has been a big rise in temporary residents, people arriving on tourist or student visas who once they reach Canada claim asylum. How did this happen? Under Trudeau's government, the process for entering Canada and claiming asylum has become much easier, avoiding many of the checks that were once required. For example, while Trudeau publicly made a deal with the US to change the Safe Third Country Agreement to address concerns about the thousands of illegal immigrants crossing at Roxham Road, behind the scenes, his government quietly waived requirement for hundreds of thousands of visa applicants. They said this was to clear up a backlog in the immigration system, but in reality, it allowed many people to enter Canada more easily, knowing they could take advantage of the system.
It's an invasion, people. It's an invasion on purpose. Look, this jackass wants votes, and the more people he gets to move here, like the States is doing, whether it's racist that black people need a driver's license to vote. But during COVID, if they wanted to go out, they damn well need an ID card. If they want to get on a fucking airplane, they need a passport. That's how dumb these people think all of us are. Canada, the States, the UK, etc. You just want votes. The people who already live here, who are suffering by paying your stupid taxation, your overpriced bullshit, and a terrible economy, and the fact like everything's garbage, hot garbage, except for legalizing weed. I've been over this 1,000 times when it comes to Trudeau. And in the States, it's the same thing. Oh, because if nobody needs ID to vote, then everybody who we let in illegally will vote for us, i.e. the Democrats. Well, if that happens, I'll come over and I'll vote. Don't worry, Trump 2024, I'll come across the border. I'll vote at every polling station you have if you don't require ID because you don't know who the fuck I am, so therefore I can vote 10,000 times. Don't think that the way they're trying to flip this, if you're a liberal person or a Democrat, will not eventually flip and hit you in the ass with a Republican or a Democrat. And again, or Republican or conservative. Apologies. Again, I'm not either party side. I'm just make Canada decent again. I don't even want greatness. I just want some decency, for fuck's sakes.
Loophole that has been found is that if people cross into Canada via Roxham Road or elsewhere and then claim refugee status, we cannot send them back to the United States because they're already in Canada.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Because of this, we have seen a huge increase in the number of people who come into Canada and then claim asylum, especially at airports like
Look at this. Look how crazy these numbers are. Okay, so we got 2015 asylum claims processed in 2015, 16,000. 2016, 23,855. 2017, 50,375. That is a jump, right? 2018, okay, 5,000 added. 2019, 64,000. 2020, 2021 because of COVID, 23 and 24,000 respectively. Since then, we're at 91,000, 143,000 in 2023, and so far this year, 119,305. 4 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to 2019. It was 64,000. Now it's more than doubled according to 2023 statistics. So if we do some quick math, that's 120 plus 143, we're at 263. Another one, we're at 350, we're at 375, we're at 4, we're at 464, we're at 510-ish, 515, 555. That's an extra 600,000 people, give or take a few in either direction, and that's not with this year being completed. But the main amount of people, so it's over 600,000 people since 2015, or in the last 3 years, it's over 300,000 people. That's the problem. Canada does not have the housing for all of these people. The city I live in, Canada's 8th largest city, Hamilton, Ontario, it's a median city with an income of like $20 an hour, and that's probably on the high end. I'm just estimating to put things on a positive note. The average price for a one-bedroom apartment here is like $2,000 a month. If you're not in a relationship or don't mind, having bunk beds with a roommate, you're screwed. Supply and demand. We don't have enough houses. You keep bringing more people in. Houses go up. More people are homeless. More people live in tents. We have more of this bullshit going on because it's very simple. You don't invite people over for dinner if you don't have enough food. You don't invite people to sleep over if you don't have enough fucking bedding, or a combination of both for immigration.
Montreal and Toronto. Let's look at the numbers. Asylum claims in Canada have gone up sharply since 2022. Many people thought closing Roxham Road in March 2023 had solved the illegal immigration problem. But that's not true. While illegal crossings at Roxham Road have decreased, asylum claims at airports and within Canada, so inland, have increased a lot. For example, in 2023, nearly 26,000 asylum claims were made at Montreal Airport and over 14,000 in Toronto, almost 3 times more than in 2022. In total, Canada received more than 143,000 asylum claims that year. If this trend continues, 2024 could set a new record, with Toronto already seeing almost as many claims in the first 8 months as it did in all of 2023. Ontario and Quebec are dealing with the majority of this influx, with 90% of asylum claims happening in these two provinces. This is putting a lot of pressure on their resources and system. You might remember my colleague David Menzies reporting from Toronto, where hundreds of people from Africa claimed asylum and set up a tent city outside of homeless shelter because the city were already full. They took over part of the sidewalk until public pressure led to their relocation to a church. Quebec Premier François Legault has been urging Trudeau to move asylum seekers across Canada, asking other provinces to share the responsibility. He has even suggested that the Bloc québécois call for an election to challenge Trudeau on this issue.
Ça fait 6 mois là, minimum, que je demande à M. Trudeau de réduire de moitié ce 600 000, puis de le faire immédiatement. Jusqu'à présent, les seuls gestes qui ont été annoncés par M. Trudeau sont non significatifs. Moi, je demande à M. Saint-Pierre Plamondon, au chef du Parti québécois, d'avoir aujourd'hui du courage et de demander à son camarade du Bloc québécois de reculer, de ne pas appuyer le gouvernement Trudeau la semaine prochaine, puis de défendre les intérêts des Québécois puis de la nation québécoise.
Quebec isn't a nation. It's an annoying province full of French people. Honest to God, if you guys leave, it would not be a big difference, except for getting to the other provinces would be a giant pain in the ass. But that's how I feel about Quebec, because they're usually a bunch of assholes when you go to vacation. True fucking story, eh? Anyways, as far as the people, it's not fair due to the taxation that we pay, due to the fact that these provinces, Quebec and Ontario, are overloaded. There's 8 other provinces. There's 4 on the East Coast. There's the ones in the middle, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. And then you have the ones on the West Coast, Alberta and BC. And then we even have fucking 3 territories, which a territory is not quite a province due to taxation and the fact there's not that many people up there. Anyways, move them up there. If you want to be in Canada, be in Canada. Excuse me. If you want to just be in Ontario because it's the best province to be in, has the most amount of shit, but also has the most amount of people, go home. If you can afford an airplane ticket here, and then you can sit on the sidewalk and play on your phone, have all these... You're not looking for asylum. You're looking for an easier life. Why do people who come... Look, if you're having a war at home, that's one thing. But why do people who come from an impoverished, shitty nation get to move here? Fix your fucking nation first. If your nation's under war, if your tribe is being attacked, if it's a certain civil war, right? If it's a genocide, I understand that. If your place just sucks to live, fix it. Don't come here with the same shitty perspective that you had back home that led to that place fucking failing. Come here and lead to the same shit here. Stay home and clean up your fucking room.
Exactly all we have asked for before they fall, because if there's a vote tomorrow, they might fall tomorrow. We will look into it and we will be coherent with all what we have said so far.
The situation at land crossings has not improved either. Even though Roxham Road has been closed, the problem is still there. People are finding other places to cross illegally, and some wait 2 weeks before claiming asylum to use another loophole in the Safe Third Country Agreement. Human smugglers are taking advantage of this chaos, advertising illegal crossings online for up to $5,000 USD. They promise safe travel without background checks and even promote their services as child-friendly. I spoke with a few of these smugglers and they were surprisingly easy to find. So what happens when these asylum seekers arrive in Canada? According to government data, they are taken to emergency shelters like hotels or YMCAs, where they receive food, lodging, and access to services, all paid for by taxpayers. Now let's break down the cost. In 2023, Quebec spent almost $577 million of taxpayer money on caring for asylum seekers.
So we're giving nearly $500 million to people who didn't pay shit. Look, I'm going to say the thing that all Canadians want to say, but we're really, really nice. Hey, nobody wants to say it. We don't care about you. I don't care about you to spend $500 million on you, especially when we're suffering. Look, if it's prosperous around here, come on in. We got plenty to go around. Right now, we don't, and this fucking idiot Trudeau has to go. But the fact that Quebec spent $500 million of their people's tax money on people from other places who need the money because they're already naturalized Canadian citizens, who are homeless, who are below the poverty line, etc. Nope. We give the fucking foreigners who come in, who, again, if you are having a civil war, if it's a genocide, come in. If you can afford a plane ticket here, if you can afford to go to school here, you're not a fucking asylum seeker. You're just taking advantage of a stupid system. I hope here wins. It says everybody who's fucking supposed to be back home. Again, Canada is full of immigrants. If you want to come here, you need to do the paperwork properly and not look for loopholes. The paperwork done before kept us a very, very safe and great nation. Now, when you remove the safety checks, and we just let all these people in because we had a backlog, then who the fuck did you let in?
This does not include $78 million in administrative cost. Plus, these numbers don't cover other costs, which are handled by different government departments. I also found a major gap in the data. The official number of immigrants admitted to Quebec in 2023 is listed as more than 52,000 people. However, there were 65,235 asylum claims in the province that same year. According to my source, asylum seekers are not counted as immigrants until their claims are approved, meaning the true number of foreign nationals in Quebec is much higher. Another concern is family reunifications with refugees. Many asylum seekers are bringing over their parents, grandparents, and other family members. While this makes sense from humanitarian point of view, it adds more pressure on social services. Some of these people may not contribute to the economy, yet they still qualify for government pensions and benefits, even though they have not paid into the system like Canadians have. In conclusions, while Trudeau's government claims to have fixed the illegal immigration issue by closing Roxham Road, the reality is that the problems remain and in some cases has gotten worse. Asylum claims keeps increasing and provinces like Quebec and Ontario are feeling the strain. The long-term economic and social impacts are still unclear, and instead of solving the roots problem, the government is simply moving asylum seekers across the country, which doesn't stop the growing pressure on Canadian system.
In the country with immigration, you're putting more people in than the system can handle. You're putting more people in at a rate than the system has ever had to handle before, and you're letting people in who you're not doing the proper background checks on. You're trying to ruin the country to keep your job to get votes. Look, this has clearly got to be a WF thing. I hate the idea that the world is essentially being tried to be ran with a one world government, the World Economic Forum, and Klaus Schwab and all this nonsense. But when you look into it, like, God, does it make sense? Because WF is before touted Trudeau and how good he is at his job. And then 9 years in, he's ruined the fucking country. He's bringing other people in who don't deserve to be here, do not belong here. And again, if they belong here, do the immigration properly. Meet the standard of Canadians, do the background check, and you can come in. But the idea that we have loopholes that that human smugglers can find to bring people in to this country, to have them either stay in this country, go to the next country, and the best part is when one asylum seeker come here, they bring everybody they fucking know, and then they get to live here for free. I don't care about other people. And by I say that, I don't care if where you're from sucks. Fix it. I don't leave my house to go to another person's house if there's a problem with my piping. If my house is flooding, I fix my fucking house and I get back in my house. Keep your problems at home. Fix where you're from. Otherwise, eventually everywhere sucks, as we're seeing all over the place. It's not a racist thing. It's a fact thing. The fact is the rest of us who don't have any money right now because of Trudeau and COVID and the poor economy are paying for people who come here who don't pay shit often. Go back to the old method. Go back to the ABCD method, the rating system. Go back to the slow immigration system. Go back into we bring people in sectors we need when we need people in sectors, and don't just bring them in for the hell of bringing them in. And then on top of it, like people talk about this word Islamophobia. Well, if I take a paper and a pen right now and I draw Muhammad, I'm going to have a whole bunch of people who want to kill me. It's not the religion of peace. It's not. And we're seeing the rise of extremism in Canada, right? We saw it a few weeks ago in Vancouver, a month ago in Vancouver. Death to Canada, death to America, rah, rah, rah. And you let these fucking people in here? Eventually it'll be a civil war. Like, comment, subscribe. If you tell me I'm wrong, then you're a fucking moron.